You might have heard the whispers, the rumors that spread like wildfire across coin forums, in collectors' groups, and even casual conversations. Some say a simple 1970 Washington quarter could be worth millions of dollars. Imagine digging through your pocket change, pulling out what looks like an ordinary quarter, and realizing it might be a life-changing treasure. The idea alone is enough to give anyone goosebumps. But is it really true? Can a 1970 quarter really make you a millionaire? Stay with me till the very end, because the real story behind this coin is just as thrilling as the myth. Before we dive into values and myths, let's start with the design that made the Washington quarter so iconic. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932, replacing the standing Liberty quarter. Sculptor John Flanagan's design won the competition, showing a left-facing portrait of George Washington. On the obverse, front side, of the 1970 quarter, you'll see Washington's portrait, with the word Liberty above his head, the national motto, In God We Trust, on the left, and the date 1970 just below his chin. It's a bold, clean, patriotic design that immediately connects the coin to American identity. Turn the coin over, and on the reverse, you'll see the majestic heraldic eagle. The eagle's wings are spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows, representing America's readiness to defend itself, and beneath the arrows are olive branches, symbolizing peace. Above the eagle are the inscriptions United States of America and E Pluribus Unum, and below it, the denomination quarter dollar. This design remained unchanged for decades, from 1932 all the way to 1998, until the 50-state quarters program began in 1999. For generations, it was the image Americans saw on their 25-cent pieces, and that familiarity gave it a place in everyday life, in soda machines, lunch counters, and pockets across the nation. Now, let's set the stage. By 1970, U.S. quarters were no longer struck in silver for circulation. The U.S. Mint had switched to copper-nickel-clad coins starting in 1965, due to rising silver prices. That means every regular 1970 quarter you see was made of a copper core sandwiched between two layers of nickel. They weighed about 5.67 grams and had a diameter of 24.3 millimeters. The 1970 quarter comes from three main mints. Philadelphia, no mint mark. Denver, D mint mark. San Francisco, S mint mark, proof coins only. Each mint produced millions of these coins, so they were not rare in circulation. But as with many coins, it's not the ordinary strikes that grab attention, it's the rare errors and varieties that make collectors' hearts race. So where does the rumor of a $1 million quarter come from? The story traces back to one extraordinary mint blunder. In 1970, the San Francisco Mint was producing proof coins, special coins with mirrored fields and sharp details meant for collectors. Somehow, a 1970 S-proof quarter was accidentally struck on a 1941 Canadian quarter planchet. That means the coin was literally struck on the wrong blank, a foreign coin blank from almost 30 years earlier. This bizarre error resulted in a coin unlike anything else. When it finally surfaced at auction, it stunned the coin collecting world. One of these 1970 S quarters on the Canadian planchet sold for over $35,000. That jaw-dropping figure fueled the legend. News articles, collector discussions, and later online posts exaggerated the story until some people began saying the coin could be worth millions. And that's how the myth was born. Let's cut through the exaggeration and talk about what these coins are actually worth in today's market. 1. Circulated 1970 quarters. If you find a 1970 quarter in your pocket change that has been used over the years, chances are it's worth 25 cents. Millions were made, and they're still common. Even lightly circulated examples may only be worth a small premium, maybe 50 cents to $1, to a casual collector. 2. Uncirculated mint state coins. This is where value starts to rise a little. A 1970 P or 1970 D quarter in mint state condition, MS60, MS63, might sell for $2 to $5. Higher grades like MS65 can bring $15 to $25. The rare top grades, MS67 or better, can go for hundreds of dollars, sometimes over $1,000, depending on rarity of that grade population. So while not life-changing, these coins do have collector value if they're in exceptional condition. 3. Proof coins, 1970 S. The San Francisco Mint made millions of proof coins in 1970. Most are worth $3 to $10 today, depending on quality. But the gems, with deep cameo contrast and perfect condition, can reach $25 to $50 or more. 4. Mint errors and varieties. This is where the big money is. 1970 S quarter on 1941 Canadian planchet, auctioned for over $35,000. This is the most famous variety and the source of the million-dollar myth. Double die errors. Some 1970 quarters show doubling in the lettering or date. Depending on strength, they can fetch $50 to $500. Off-center strikes. Coins struck off-center by 10 to 20% can bring $100 to $200. More dramatic errors can go into the thousands. Wrong planchet errors. If struck on a dime or foreign planchet, values range from hundreds to several $1,000s, depending on rarity. So, can a 1970 quarter make you a millionaire? The truth is no. Number 1970 quarter has ever sold for $1 million. The rumors exaggerate real sales of rare mint errors into fantasy numbers. But what is true is still exciting. A coin that cost 25 cents to make once sold for the price of a brand new car. That's the thrill of coin collecting. Most coins are common, but the rare ones, the errors, the varieties, the flukes of history, can change the way we look at everyday change. Let's know why collectors still love the 1970 quarter. Beyond the money, collectors value the 1970 quarter for what it represents. It was struck during the early years of the clad era. It carried the classic Washington design that was about to be replaced by a new generation of commemorative quarters. It hides one of the most famous error stories in modern U.S. mint history. For some, the 1970 quarter is a reminder that even ordinary coins can carry extraordinary stories. So, let's be honest, the average 1970 Washington quarter is worth 25 cents. A nice uncirculated one might be worth a few dollars, and a high-grade or proof coin could bring a bit more. But the rare mint errors are where the real value lies, and while they won't make you a millionaire, they have brought tens of thousands of dollars to lucky collectors. The next time you see a 1970 quarter, take a closer look. Check for proof strikes, doubling, off-center errors, or unusual weight that might suggest a wrong planchet. Because while most of these coins are ordinary, a very small handful are anything but. And that's the truth behind the million-dollar rumor. Not quite a fairy tale, but still an extraordinary piece of numismatic history.